Hi guys, this is gsn1.com and I'm here finally with the Samsung Galaxy S4, the handset that everyone is waiting for, the latest generation of flagship from Samsung. This device was announced on March 15th with a Broadway show, and it came to the UK with a price tag of about $898, at least on Carphone Warehouse, the equivalent of about 520 quid. And this is the handset that everyone is waiting for. We've already reviewed the HTC One, and today we're previewing the Samsung Galaxy S4, its primary rival. This handset is supposed to enter some of the shops in about 2 or 3 days, and it comes in two versions: the 8-core version that's very hard to find only in some markets in the world, and the Snapdragon 600 quad-core version that we have right here and that most of the markets out there have available. Okay, so things to know about this handset. First of all, it has a micro SIM card slot. It also has LTE. It measures 7.9 mm in thickness and weighs 130 grams. It's similar to the S3 as far as design goes. It's less rounded than the Galaxy S3. Basically, it's a combo between the S3 and S2. It has pretty much the same height, but it's less wide. It's only 69.8 mm versus 70.6 millimeters, so it's thinner and lighter. I mean that 7.9 millimeters, it's thinner than the 8.6 millimeters of its predecessor. Okay, so this Samsung Galaxy S4 handset also weighs 130 grams versus the 133 grams of its predecessor. And now I'm going to run a benchmark where I detail its specs. Keep in mind, this is only a preview of the phone, not the full review. And let's see what benchmarks we have available. We got Quadrant right here, and we're running it right now. So this display is a Super AMOLED 5-inch screen, resolution is Full HD, and the pixel density is 441 ppi. We got Gorilla Glass 3 protection and a micro SD card slot under the hood. The device comes in 16, 32 or 64 GB versions with 2 GB of RAM. It has HSDPA, 42.2 MB per second connectivity, Wi-Fi, DLNA, Bluetooth 4.0, NFC, infrared and micro USB 2.0 with MHL. At the back we have a 13 megapixel camera with autofocus and LED flash, while up front we have a 2 megapixel camera. The CPU inside this version of the phone is a Snapdragon 600 1.9 GHz, and the OS is Android 4.2.2. We also have an accelerometer and a gyroscope on this device, and a proximity sensor, compass and barometer, plus a lithium-ion 2600 mAh battery. As you can see, we scored 11,959 points, although in an earlier benchmark we scored much more. I'm pretty sure that everyone wants to know what the unique features of this device are. Some of them were introduced on the Broadway show, and since this is merely a preview, I'll go to a brief rundown of what you get. The most innovations you will find in the camera area. So let's take this usual castle that we use right here at gsn1.com. So first of all, we have the interface. As you can see, I can tap to focus easily, and there's some mode settings. I can either go through them like this or have them displayed like this, a grid. Some of the options here include we have a beauty face, best photo and best face that pretty much speak for themselves. Then we have an option called sound and shot. So you take a bunch of pictures, so a picture with 9 seconds of video, that's pretty much it. Sound and shot is 9 seconds of audio capture and the photo, that's pretty much it. Then we have the drama option. Well, this one can capture movement, so for example, if someone dear to you is dancing around, you can capture his movement through a series of shots, and using this option called drama, you can create sort of a GIF of his motion. We also have animated photo, which is a pretty cool thing. Basically, you can take a bunch of pictures and then create an animation and select to keep some items still and others moving. We also have obviously HDR available right here, and the option to erase stuff. So the eraser allows you to delete objects and persons from the frame. You can simply highlight them and remove them. Of course, we also have panorama and sports and night. So these are the modes that you can play with. Select them like this or like that. Okay, so we also have the main options. So let's exit this mode and go to the normal one, the auto mode. Okay, now time to check out the other options. So these are the main options that the camera offers. You can take a 4:3 shot or a 16:9 shot. We got burst shot, face detection, ISO. Also you can take full HD video, but we're not interested in that. We're interested in this feature right here. It's the dual capture. So the dual capture offers you the option to capture your face, so you can see my face right here, and also what's happening on the other side. You can also move your face around the screen. So the idea here is that you can take a video or a picture of someone dear to you and you can appear in that shot with a dual capture. And other stuff we're mentioning, I already said, the drama shot that creates GIFs from a burst capture, sound and shot is a picture with sound, and then let's move on to the other features. Let's say I want to play a video, and I do, and I go to video, I start playing this clip. Here we go, the clip is going on. And while I'm watching the clip, I turn my head into another direction. You can see that the clip just stopped and I turn my head to it again, and now I'm turning my head into another direction. And once again the clip stops. You won't see my head, but you have to believe me, the camera will detect that I'm not looking at the screen, which is pretty cool, and it will do a smart pause if you look someplace else, and we'll pause the video. So that's one of the new features here. We also have a feature called smart scrolling. So let's access the web browser, access gsmdom.com, by the way, virtual keyboard, pretty comfy. I don't quite understand why the keyboards are so spaced. The spaces between them could have been a little bit smaller. You can see that symbol of the eye, it's actually my eye. The browser and the camera and the feature identified my eye, and now I can scroll by simply moving the phone. And while I'm looking at it, you see the eye symbol trying to catch my glance. And now I'm tilting to scroll in the page. There are also some gestures, like for example the famous air view that debuted on the Galaxy Note 2. So if I go into the gallery, the camera area, I can see previews of the pics, but be careful just how close you place your finger to the photos, so you won't actually access them. Let's try this in a video maybe. Keep in mind that some of the features on this device won't actually work to their proper level. This is a sample device, and here we are trying to show you the air view feature. Now it's working. You can see me, I'm not touching the screen, as you can see. Just like the S Pen, but using the finger. In non-normal mode of functioning, I should be able to do that in the gallery and preview items here, but apparently it's not working this time. Anyway, you should know that on a normal device it should be working. Once again, this is a sample. Okay, so you saw the air view, you saw smart scrolling, smart pause, you found out about the eraser and the camera, also about the video with the static parts. We also have a feature called smart voice. Basically it's an alternative to Google Now. It was also present as the S voice on the Galaxy S3, and supposedly it has evolved, but from what I've seen the results are not that different. As you can see, we also have the multitasking options. This one is called the Multiview, so you can open up apps and alternate between them easily, like I'm doing just now. I can scroll around through Gmail, I can quickly go to the internet browser, then to Chrome, move around, go to Maps. All of that to these cool multi-view options. There's also another feature that Samsung advertised a lot in its presentation of the phone, is the S Health application. This one combined with special accessories that will monitor your calorie intake, your blood sugar, your pulse and blood pressure, will actually monitor the state of your health. There's also a walking mate, so you can see how many steps you've gone in a day, an exercise mate for burned calories, and a food tracker to keep track of what you're eating with breakfast, lunch, dinner and other snacks. There's also a comfort level meter showing you the temperature, humidity and other stuff that you need to know about your environment. There's also a health diary, shows you the kilos, how much you've lost, how much you gain, in what range you are, and a bunch of settings for calories burned. Basically, the idea is to maintain healthy and also connect the device to its fit accessories. Okay, so we saw a bunch of features right here. You probably want a quick comparison of the performance with the one of the HTC One. We gave that handset a 10 out of 10, and this model is also pretty solid one. I'm guessing it will have very good results. Now let me show you some benchmarks. For example, the HTC One scored in quadrant 12,400 points. Guess what? The Samsung Galaxy S4 scores 12,466 points. So the two are very close. After all, they have the same CPU, although this one has a bigger frequency. In Antutu, HTC One scored 22,000 points and this model scores 1,000 more. And finally, in 3D Mark, disappointing result at first, but then the second run, good result, 10,456 points with the Samsung Galaxy S4. This is merely a preview, folks. As I said, expect some errors and some bugs. This is a sample unit, not the final unit. That's why some of the things may not work properly. So first preview, first impressions, some of the unique features on this phone. Looks like a solid purchase, should come to the shops in about a day or two and you'll see it in the shops and touch it and play with it. But till then, we're going to take a full gallery of shots with this handset and a full review that will come in a few days. This is it from gsndon.com. Bye bye.